Oh, it's nothing, hon. It's just... Well, you know how much I love the ocean. I love the water. I love the beach. How the waves crash on the sand. It's one of the few instances I'm somewhat okay with seagulls. The food demons from the sky, exactly. Hey, remember that one time when we were on the beach and there was that family next to us? They totally forgot to leave their food supervised. The seagulls were at them for hours, it seemed. And everyone had to start helping them keep their food safe. You know, it's moments like those when sometimes, I feel like humanity is being restored. Yes, only sometimes. But I also love the ocean animals. Seeing the dolphins, sometimes a whale too. Or a seal, sea lion, whichever one. Well, it's rare that we see fish on this side, but yeah, when we see fish as well. You know, overall it just makes me happy. Hey, can I ask you something? So, you know how last week we had a little bit of a disagreement? And you were kind of, not to sound mean or anything, but you seemed almost scared. Scared to talk to me about things and to possibly, I guess, start a real fight. Oh, don't apologize. It's okay. I'm just wondering, why were you so worried? I mean, were you scared that you were going to hurt my feelings? Make me upset, angry? Ah, right. Okay, I guess that's understandable. But honey, you should not be scared. You shouldn't be worried to express things that bother you. You know this. You can come to me about anything, good or bad, within yourself, other people, or even me. I know I'm not perfect. You don't have to tell me that. There are plenty, and I mean plenty, of things that I could improve on. But I'll admit it was a little frustrating when you wouldn't just tell me what was going on. No, it doesn't mean I'm still mad at you at all. It's far from the truth. I'm just trying to help you understand that it's okay to be honest. It's okay to want to bring up a subject in which I may not exactly like, at least right off the bat. I know, family downstairs is a little loud, but it's okay. We don't need to worry about them. I don't think they'll come up here unless they really need something. Of course, they understand that we like our quiet time. Well, relatively quiet. But really, please, do not worry about coming to me about anything. Especially if it's something that I'm doing that irritates you, or bothers you in any way, makes you uncomfortable, makes you feel weird, that kind of thing. I'm extremely flexible, and I will totally understand as long as you communicate. Oh, I know. I know, hon. I know that you don't really like conflict or upsetting people. Trust me, in the same way. It's not very fun because you feel like, well, that looming thought of what if they don't want to be my friend anymore, or what if they hate me because of this. I know it's a little extreme, but sometimes it happens. All I can say is, when it comes to that, you just need to remember that it's better if they hear that truth and be open to communication rather than they having, well, how do I word this right? Rather than the fact that they have to wonder why you're acting so strange when something comes up. That's when real arguments start. And that's when the real conflict begins. There's nothing wrong with being worried about sharing your opinion or addressing concerns, because if you don't, that concern will turn into a real problem. And I'm sure that's the last thing you want. Of course I'm right. Trust me, I've been in a lot of arguments myself because I was also like that. I was afraid to upset people, so I just kept the opinions and the concerns to myself. And you know how well that went down. I ended up getting into a lot more arguments than I wanted to, simply because they didn't understand why I acted so strange to certain things. Like I said, I've said it before, I think, in the other disagreement we had. It's not even exclusive to just relationships like ours. It also applies to family, friends, and sometimes even strangers and coworkers. It's better to be honest than to hide things and build up more tension. When it hurts, to be honest, you know that it's something you have to do. Because, well, it's better to hit people with a hurtful truth that comes from a good place, rather than a pretty lie that can harm a relationship in the end. Romantic or otherwise, of course. What happened? Oh man, what happened when I held my tongue too long? It killed me inside a little. It wasn't necessarily the whole fact that, it was a tick or a habit somebody had that irritated me. Well, it kind of was, but it was a huge, huge deal. And in the end, they didn't understand why I held it in so long. Huh? I may or may not be talking about my ex. Yeah, that didn't end well at all. It's not like it matters. He was way worse than... Okay, I don't know about that. Hitler was pretty bad. That's so mean to say. But, yeah, my ex was bad. But that shouldn't matter anymore because I have you. I'm just using that as an example. Things probably would have been less argumentative if I was more honest. You're right. I was honest, but I still held it in. In the end, well, in the end I got left, and now I have you. And it's millions and millions times better. Trust me. And at least I can help you with understanding that it's okay to be honest. I'd rather you come to me and address things that bother you rather than hide it and store it in your brain and let it eat you up inside. Because I've been there, and it sucks a lot. And then you know me. I always overthink things in the end, and well, it'll just eat both of us inside. But for different reasons. Conflict is really strange like that, don't you think? And that is why they say in order to avoid conflict, it's best to open up with a discussion about what's bothering you. Yes, now you know. The more you know, the better you'll be. Well, I guess depending on what you learn. But promise me, if there's ever anything that bothers you that I do, or that your family does, or a friend or two, or coworker, anything, anybody, don't be afraid to speak up. I know it can hurt, and I know it can be terrifying. Like I said, there's always that looming thought of, what if they hate me? What if they don't like what they hear? Well, to be honest, 9 times out of 10 they won't exactly be happy right away to hear what you have to say. But they'll know, and they'll understand that you're coming from a good place, and that you only wish to make your guys' relationship more meaningful and stronger. Besides, the more you get the trash out of the way, the cleaner the roads will be, right? I honestly just came up with that one. But it's true. It's better to clear up any sort of confusing air that exists, to talk it out, and to come up with a solution where both of you are happy, or at least where both understand each other. You really do that more? Great. I'm glad. You know I love you. And, well, honestly, it worried me that I had to talk to you about this. But I'm glad that you're open to listening. Well, I love you too. You really mean a lot to me, and I want us to last as long as possible. And we aren't perfect, but that's okay. It's part of being human. As long as we communicate, all things will be fine. Speaking of which, I hear some weird noises downstairs. I think Mom and... yeah, they're at it again. Let's go downstairs, see what they're up to. If we can help, well, let's help.